Hi guys, so I've played Dungeons and Dragons since the early 80s and absolutely love playing the game. And as you can see, obviously I've got all the books. I wish I had kept all the books when I originally played. As I used to play obviously basic D&D and then the advanced D&D. But yeah, got the Dungeon Master's Guide, Player's Handbook, and a whole variety of other books. I must admit I did go mad buying all the books, and I think I've got about 20 or so of these. Obviously the Monster Manual, this is one obviously you definitely need. For all your heroes to be obviously fighting against monsters. But have you ever thought it'd be fun to take on the role of one of these monsters and, well, fight the heroes for a change and get your own back and defend that dungeon that you've been dwelling in? Well, now you can. There's an awesome Kickstarter starting on February the 21st, and it's Legend of Keepers. And this Kickstarter contains the campaign book, over 100 awesome miniatures and terrain pieces. It's 5e compatible, and there's 3 ways to play: traditional, evil and PvP. So absolutely awesome. And here's just a few of the miniatures that are available, all amazingly sculptured, looking absolutely fantastic. So all the different kind of heroes you can think of: wizards, rogues, battle warriors, all that sort of thing, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm obviously more concerned with the mobs and the monsters, as you get to play these, which makes a real good change. So I was fortunate enough to be able to choose a few figures that I wanted to paint, and the first one is this dude, the Yetigo, or kind of like a hill giant I guess, but yeah, awesome looking miniature. So I'm printing mine out on the Anycubic Photon Mono X. As you can see, these come pre-supported, and these are a dream. These came off the supports really easy, which is always a good sign of someone who knows what they're doing. And these were so easy to print out. Yeah, never really had any problems with the Anycubic Photon Mono X. Lovely little printer. There's a link in the description, guys, to this, as well as obviously the Kickstarter that's coming out very soon. And I say, yeah, these came out really well, no problems at all, came off the supports, and yeah, just look at the detail in this figure. And this is where obviously the style of painting I do works really, really well. The more detail a figure has, the easier and better it is to paint, which sounds surprising, but it's true. So as usual, starting off with a good old black undercoat. I just use my little rattle can there to do it, and then we just go into the dry brushing, good old dry brushing with grey, and then dry brush with some white, and straight away obviously the character looks awesome. So this really does bring up all the details, obviously all the nooks and crannies and all the rest of it. So again, this is a sign of obviously a really awesome miniature, the fact that there are so many details in this, and you don't always spot them first off. And the fact there's over 100 miniatures looking this good is just amazing. But also, as well as obviously the miniatures, you get to print out all the terrain and bits and pieces you need to play a full game, which is awesome because it's all in one place, which makes it so much easier to sort of obviously find and locate. So yeah, he's looking really good. But one thing I get asked a lot of is, what sort of grey and white do I use? And to be honest, my answer normally is kind of the cheapest. So yeah, so I use these obviously big pots, because obviously you're going to use a lot of this stuff, but mix it up yourself. So any sort of acrylic paint will do for this. Say I normally go on Amazon and locate sort of the cheapest I can find, or sometimes I pop to my local Wilco's, and some of these pots you can get like £1 for a big old 1 litre. And then yeah, it's just a case of mixing them together. So again, with the grey, I can't really sort of tell you what shade of grey I use, as it is all by eye. Typically I like to try and get a grey that's in between a white and a black. So yeah, it's halfway between. So yeah, it's just a case of keep adding the grey or the black even to get the grey I needed. It is looking rather light on camera. It is actually a bit darker than it's sort of showing here. But trust me, this grey is kind of in between the black and white. And then yeah, the easy bit, say this style of painting, it's just been, I love it, absolutely love it. So this miniature, I probably painted him around about, I don't know, 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. So yeah, reasonably quick. When I say painted him, that doesn't include the priming or the dry brushing, mainly because obviously you dry brush him, you have to leave him for a good 5-10 minutes. And I'm going to do the dry brushing in between the grey and the white. Again, I'll leave it a good 5-10 minutes just so it's fully dry. So yeah, so once that was done, this figure, around about 40 minutes, 45 minutes tops, and he was done. And I'm really obviously pleased with how he looks. I say these miniatures are the detail on them, so you could spend a lot longer than I did, and you could pick out every single bit of detail in this dude and give it a bit of a different sort of painting sort of look to it. Or you could do what I'm doing is obviously the old contrast speed paints, and then you could go over later on, do some little highlights just to pick out some areas as well. So check out the link in the description, guys, to this Kickstarter. Yeah, Legend of the Keepers. It's just an awesome looking sort of set. So the campaign book is just amazing. The detail in the book just looks glorious. And I know I certainly can't wait to get my hands on the book. Yeah, definitely highly detailed and just looks fantastic. And you'll be able to back it as of next week on February the 21st. I think it's noon EST is when it actually sort of goes live, and yeah, you can start backing it. So yeah, this dude, obviously normally when I come to sort of painting bits of, well, I don't know, straps and bits and pieces, I generally do them in the brown, but as this dude is kind of like quite orangey looking, I wanted to go a bit different, and yeah, did a bit of purple for quite a few of the bits and pieces. And yeah, this one comes with a base. Obviously if you know me, then you know I don't normally do the bases. I normally have clear bases, but this dude, I kind of like the look of him that much that I want him just to sort of sit on my desk. So yeah, rather than using the clear base, I printed out the base that came with it, and I kind of want to make it look a bit sort of muddy, swampy, as that's kind of where I think he would be dwelling. But I say, obviously these characters, you can control them to yeah, to defend your dungeon, which I say I really do like the idea of being the evil side, and yeah, trying to kill all those pesky knights, wizards, and anyone else who wants to come into my dungeon and steal my hoard of gold or whatever it might be. So he really took no time at all. There are still a few areas that I do sort of paint not using the contrast paints, and this typically is any sort of bone colour, just because the bone colours that I've got that are contrast paints seem a little bit wishy-washy. So yeah, just using a normal sort of bone sort of thing for his nails and his horns, and then yeah, once that's dried, good old washes over the top. So this dude doesn't obviously really have any weapons. He is just sort of launching his boulder there. So yeah, painted a few little bits and then go over with a nice little wash. As I say, I was lucky enough to pick out a few sort of figures to paint. You'll see the next one's coming up. Well, I'm going to do one a week, I think. Yes, there'll be another one next week and another one the week after. They are all going to be the monsters. Say just because I do like the idea of controlling them. Plus, I have got quite a lot of heroes already. So yeah, you can never have too many monsters, well, knocking about really, I guess. Just to help with the base and obviously this little boulder he's throwing with the moss on it, I thought I would stick a little bit of grass on, just a bit more of an effect. So I've got this nice little box where I've got a few varieties of different colour grass, some little bits of cork in there as well as a few little stones. So yeah, a good little mixture, mix it all up, and yeah, it's ideal for basing. It's nice and simple, nice and quick, and yeah, just sort of a bit of glue and just drop the bits on. But I think it makes a real big difference to this model, just adding these few little flakes of, well, 10 grass really, I guess. Okay, well I think it's time to go and see this dude in all his glory. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to check out Legend of Keepers on the 21st of Feb, as yeah, I think it's definitely well worth it if you are into D&D and any kind of like tabletop gaming thing, I guess. But yeah, for me this is just fantastic, being able to take on the role of a monster. And I say they're miniatures, yeah, absolutely stunning. Can't fault them in any way. More detail than you could ever really need. And the fact there's over 100 awesome miniatures is just amazing. Yeah, so go check them out, guys. So I say a big thank you to all my patrons for helping support the channel, as well as Chaos Cards for helping support as well with many things. Links in the description to them. Go check them out. And yeah, click on the video that's coming up beside me. Okay, guys, you all take care. I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, that's it. Bye for now.